Hey guys, welcome back to Elvis Car Reviews. I hope that every single one of you is having a beautiful day. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to afford the payment on your Ford Mustang, whether it's a GT or an EcoBoost or any other, I say, sub $40,000 sport car. Now, before I dive into the video, I just want to tell you guys, if you can afford to buy it cash, please do. If you can afford to buy it cash, please do. And by afford, I don't mean if you have $25,000 in your bank account and the car costs $22,000. If you buy the car, you will have only $3,000 left. That's not being able to afford it. You have to have significant amount of money left after you buy the car that you want. Now that we have that out of the way, let's dive into the video. Actually, the idea of making this video came up to me 2 or 3 days ago when I ordered some food through Grubhub and the driver showed up in an Ecoboost Mustang. I was surprised and thrilled, so when I went to pick up my food and tip him, I asked him why he was doing that to the Mustang. He told me that he needed extra income to meet his monthly payment because the pandemic hit. He has been reduced working hour at his regular job, so he needed some extra income to supplement his regular income and keep up with the payment, insurance, and everything of the car. So that gave me an idea. I know we are going through some tough time right now. A lot of you have probably lost your job or have your hours reduced, so I decided to make a video on giving you a few ideas on how to make extra income to be able to afford your car payments. This is my Grubhub driver pulling up in a Ford Mustang to deliver my food. Now, if you currently own an EcoBoost Mustang and that's the only car that you have, whether you are currently working or not, here are a few suggestions that you can do to make money to be able to keep up with your payment. Or if you currently have a job, what you can do is save the majority of what you're making on your regular job and just use these other avenues to pretty much work for the car. Like that money will be used to make up your payment or save for mods and stuff like that, and also save to purchase another car later to do these things with, because you will be putting quite a lot of mileage in your car. So the first thing you can do is to drive for delivery services like Grubhub, Postmate, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. Now, like I said, you will be putting quite a lot of miles in your car, but you have to set yourself a certain amount of mileage to put in your car, pretty much to sacrifice before you are able to buy a cheap vehicle to continue to do these things in. And if you have a second vehicle, well, use that to do this. Let's say you decided to put 10,000 miles in your vehicle. You say your next 10,000 miles on your vehicle will be driving for this application, and then the money you make from it, you will buy yourself a cheapie, and if there is something left, you will put that toward modding your vehicle. The average food delivery driver makes about $1.16 per mile, $1.16 per mile. But we will be a little more conservative than that. We will, let's say, 85 cents per mile, and then we will, take away the dead miles where you have to drive to pick up an order, because you only get paid when you deliver. So let's say after taking that off, you come back to 85 cents per mile. So at 85 cents per mile, if you drive 10,000 miles, you will make $8,500. $8,500. The EcoBoost Mustang has a fuel consumption or fuel economy numbers of 21 miles per gallon in the city and 29, some report at 31 miles per gallon in the highway. But let's go 21 miles per gallon in the city and 31 miles per gallon in a highway. That gives you an average of 25 miles per gallon combined, city and highway driving. According to AAA, the current US gas price, is $2.26. The good thing about the EcoBoost Mustang is it can take the lower gas grade. It can take 87 octane. You don't have to put 93. You only need 93 if you want the engine to make full power. Let's say you are using 87 octane, so the price is $2.26. But for the sake of this video, let's go at an average gas price of $2.50 a gallon. So taking into consideration that you drove 10,000 miles with your car at an average of 25 miles per gallon of fuel consumption, and at the average US price of gas of $2.50, you would have spent $1,000 to drive those 10,000 miles. So take that $1,000 off the $8,500, you made $7,500. You have other expenses, but we will not consider it. $7,500 is more than enough to buy you a very cheap vehicle that you can now use onward to continue to do this on the side while either keeping your regular job or doing it full time. One other crucial expense you have to put into consideration is the oil change. So during those 10,000 miles, you will have to make the oil change twice. Depending on where you live, the oil change varies, or if you do it yourself, it will be even cheaper. You can also add the cost to putting 4 dedicated snow tires if you live in an area like New York where it gets cold and snow a lot. Definitely don't go, please don't go all season. Go snow tires. This is a rear-wheel drive vehicle. You don't want to take any chances. Go 4 snow tires if you live in an area where it snows a lot. If that's not the case, then you should be good. Now let's look at the inconvenience of doing this. The very first one is the mileage that you will put in your car, but like I said, it's a sacrifice. Once you do these 10,000 miles and you have the money to buy your cheap cars, then anything extra that you make on with that other car will take care of maintenance and modding your vehicle pretty much. And also the extra cost of the insurance, because you will add a second vehicle. The other inconvenience is putting that many miles on a very short time on a vehicle can have pros and cons. The pro is you will know really how well built your vehicle is. If there's any problem, you will find that out, because these cars, I mean these sports cars, we tend to drive them only on weekends. When there's events, so you never really know what are the weaknesses of your vehicle. So by putting 10,000 miles, you know if your car has been well built, is your engine is solid, and stuff like that. So, and I can vouch for the EcoBoost Mustang because it's pretty much one of the greatest engine ever made. Do not, again, consider the eco boom that happened in 2015, most likely or specifically on that model year. And again, it has been since fixed by Ford. So these engines are pretty reliable as long as you don't overwhelm them with boost, or you don't make the appropriate amount of modification before boosting it. If you want to learn more about that, I have a separate video where I talked about it. The other inconvenience of doing this is the smell. If you don't like food smell, a lot of us don't really want our car to smell like food. One of these delivery platforms actually gives you a bag to put the food in. If they don't, put the food in the trunk. Don't put it in your car. Put it, in front, inside the car. Put it in the trunk, and when you get to the customer, open the trunk and deliver. There's another thing you can do. It's called medical courier. Courier, COURIER. It's pretty much delivering medical supply to patients, doctor offices and stuff like that. But with the current situation, the current pandemic situation, being in contact with people like that might not be the best thing. So think twice before doing that. There are other things you can do as well, like list your car on those self-rental services where someone will rent your car and pay you a fee to rent it. Though I will really be careful doing that in your Mustang, or if that's the only sports car that you have, or if you really love your car, because the people who rent these type of sports car tend to really beat on them unless you absolutely have to. Do the other stuff I mentioned first before even considering putting your car up for rental. If you have any other idea of what you can do with your car to make extra money, to afford the payment, afford the maintenance, afford to boost the car, leave them in the comment section below so the whole Mustang community can benefit. And again, this thing will work best if you have an Ecoboost Mustang. If you have a Mustang GT, you will spend way more on gas, and I wouldn't personally put that many miles on a Mustang GT. An Ecoboost Mustang is more an all-around vehicle. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you are stopping by for the first time, do not forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram, Elvis Auto Vlog.